Hi everyone, welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm broadcasting this IELTS lesson from beautiful Budapest, capital city of Hungary, situated in Central Europe. Today we are doing IELTS listening strategy and practice. Exactly 1 week before we did listening section 1 and 2. If you missed that class, don't worry, just look at our channel later on today. Catch up, look at listening parts 1 and 2. Today we will focus on listening parts 3 and 4, the more challenging parts of the listening section. The listening questions and audio, it's exam number 2 from our first exam book. It's coming from our websites. For 6 original practice exams, over 100 hours of video lessons, and a fully interactive course for your phone, tablet, or PC. Definitely join us and improve your IELTS band score at gieltshelp.com. That's generalieltshelp.com, of course, for general IELTS. And if you're learning for academic IELTS, then check us out at aehelp.com. That's academicenglishhelp.com for, again, lots of great materials to help you out. All right, ladies and gents. So to kick the lesson off, let's just do some listening. So let's do listening section 3 together. Hi, Mohammed Kasiri. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Paramjeet. Good to see students jumping in on the class. Let's do listening section 3 together. Please have your paper and pencil ready. Do not write your answers into the chat. Give everybody a chance to listen and think about answers on their own. Wait until the end. We will go through the answers together. I'm using my microphone and a Bose speaker, max volume. So if you need more volume, you have to do it on your side. You have to either use a headset or turn up your volume or both. But it should be okay. All right, so you can see here behind me, I have the section 3 questions. Those students who have access to our premium course at gieltshelp.com, this is CD2 track 3. Okay, it's coming out of our website. So again, paper, pencil ready. Please don't write into the chat. We'll go through answers together. Just going to go to our general IELTS website. It's the green one here. To join, click that red button. If you already have it, then click the green My Student account, where you have all of your goodies. And we'll end the tour. Open up the audio CDs. And here we go, students. So everybody's ready. Again, CD1, track 3, focus, and do your best. Don't worry about anything else. Just focus and do your best.
Now turn to section 3. Take some time to look at questions 21 to 26. Listening section 3. You will hear 3 students organising a class project. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 26.
I just got an email from the professor saying the due date for our European History group project has been pushed back to
Just
Monday.
a second.
Great. That means we'll have the weekend to work on it.
I suppose that's good news.
It's the wrong audio. Let me grab the right audio for us here. Just a moment, students. Let me just figure this out real quick.
Listening section 2. You will hear a radio presenter interviewing a woman about the infamous ship Titanic.
Oh, here we go. Just a moment.
First, you
I'm
have
on
some time to
CD1.
look at questions.
Sorry, my bad. CD1. This is CD3. One more time. Actually, while we do that, I'm going to take the brightness down a bit so you can see that question with the fill in the blanks a little bit better. Here we go. All right, this will work better. So, all right, here we go, students. One more time. All right, CD2, tracks 3. Here we go.
Now turn to section 3. Take some time to look at questions 21 to 26. Listening section 3. You will hear a student and her professor talking about their class. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 26.
Come in, Laura.
Thanks a lot for making the time to see me, Professor Gorman. As I mentioned in my email, I've been very ill this past week, and missing the first week of school is not a good way to start the term.
Indeed, it's not a very good start at all, but I think you can overcome it. You had a good grade in my course last term, and I'm sure this absence is just a bump in the road as far as this term goes. Now, what would you like to discuss?
Well, I don't even have a syllabus, so maybe you could give me one and then we could go over it in some detail.
Yes, that would be sensible. Let me grab your syllabus. Here you go. As you see, the class meets each Monday and Thursday from 10 to 11:30 in room A313 of the Juliet building. Do you know where that is?
Yes, the Juliet building is right next to the Student Union building, correct?
Yes, that's right. Okay, so next are my office hours. I hold them each Monday and Wednesday from 2:30 to 4 in the afternoon. If these do not work for you, feel free to send me an email and we can make arrangements to meet at another time. Now, let's discuss the books you'll need. As you see on the syllabus, there are 2 books you'll need for this course. You need not purchase either of them, however, as there are several copies of each available in the library.
I like keeping my books for future reference, so I would prefer to buy both books. Are they available in the bookshop?
The first one is, but the second one must be purchased from Buster's Books. Do you know where Buster's Books is located?
Roughly, but do you have an address?
Yes. The address is 3419 Young Street in Brighton.
Right, I know where that is. Do you know how much the books cost, approximately?
I think the one at the university bookshop is about £20 and the one at Buster's is about £15. So that's a total of £35 for the 2 of them.
You now have some time to look at questions 27 to 30. Now listen to the rest of the discussion and answer questions 27 to 30.
Great. Can we talk a little about the coursework required?
Of course. There are 2 essays, 1 midterm exam and 1 final exam.
Wow, that's a lot of coursework.
Yes, but at this level I don't believe in just having 1 essay or 1 final exam determine your entire mark in a class. I like arranging it so that a student can have a chance to reflect on their ability and understanding of materials throughout the term.
That makes sense. So what are the percentages associated with each assignment and exam?
The first essay is worth 15%, the second is worth 25%, the midterm exam is worth 20%, and the final exam is worth 40%. Would you like to talk about the first essay? It is due next Friday.
Yes, could we?
Of course. The essay should be approximately 1,500 words and the topic must be chosen from the list.
And can I get a copy of the list?
There is one attached to your syllabus.
Right. So do we have to tell you what topic we are writing on beforehand?
No, it's all right. You only have to notify me if you want to do a topic that is not on the list.
Right. Is the essay due in class, or can we submit it by email?
I will accept essays without penalty until midnight after the class it's due. So yes, you can submit it by email, hand it in during class, or submit it to the department office. If you submit it to the office, make sure to get a timestamp put on it so that I can be sure the paper was submitted on time. And also, be sure to make...
That is the end of section 3. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
Okay, students, and in that half minute, you should check your answers. Make sure you didn't make any silly mistakes or miss any important words. Pay attention to the instructions, okay? All right, so let's go through this together. I'll bring the brightness back up a bit. Just a moment. All right, so here we go. Let's get out of this dark zone and back to some brightness here. That should be pretty good. We'll be able to see those questions. Okay, here we go, students. So let's go back to the beginning here. This is section 3 again. Maybe some of you students were here last week for section 1 and 2. That's great. We will be able to do a band score check at the end. All right, so students, question 21. Choose the correct letter. It's a simple multiple choice. Why does the student go to see the professor? What's her reason here? Was she in the hospital? Has she been sick, or did she register late? Okay, Mohammed says B. I believe she was sick. She was ill. Abhishek Dangwal agrees. It's great. Sarah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she says, I've been quite ill. So she needs to catch up on some information about the course. So B is the correct answer. Again, in space 21, you just put the big letter B and you're good to go. Okay? You'll get that one correct. All right. So the next set of questions, all the way from 22 to 28, was this fill in the syllabus, or this chart. In this column is the title of what is talked about, and here's the detailed information. So here they're talking about the class times, and the class meets on, and I saw Abhishek jump the gun and say Monday for that one. Yeah, very good. So they'll take Monday for sure. It's the correct answer. Make sure to spell the word correctly, and make sure to have a capital M. Okay, small m, Mohammed Kasiri, will get you the wrong answer. Even though Monday's correct, it has to have a big M because it's a proper noun. Okay, what's the location? They say it twice. So especially when it's a name and they're not spelling it, they're going to give it to you twice, and it will be a simple name. Okay, the correct answer so far is Vivek Shingala with Juliet. Okay. Like in Romeo and Juliet. Now, this is the English spelling, Juliet. Some of you might know the French spelling, Juliet. They'll take both. Okay, both of those are used by English speakers. So Juliet or Juliet spelled like that, but it's Juliet, not Julia. Julia is a different name. So you have to catch the T on that. It's the Juliet building. Again, like in Romeo and Juliet. Okay, so moving along nicely, number 24. What was that one? Abhishek Dangwal says the answer for 24 was office hours. Office hours. Absolutely. So not class meeting, Mohammed. It's the office hours, okay? The class times are Monday and Thursday, and the professor's office hours are Monday and Wednesday. Now here, you have to have both the word office and hours. If you just put office, you'll get it wrong, okay? You need the word hours. Always pay careful attention to the instructions. It says 2 words and or a number. So there's a very good chance that some of these will need 2 words. Okay? So office hours for number 24. Required books. So the books that are needed for this class. By the way, students, is a very typical type of listening topic. There's a very good chance that on IELTS you'll hear a topic where it's about school, university, some students, or a professor and a student talking, okay? So you have to be familiar with this kind of dialogue. Required books. Book 1, it's available at the bookshop. And how much does it cost? Okay, Abhishek says 20. Mohammed says 20 pounds. Mohammed, be very careful. They give you the symbol for pounds here. Okay, so IELTS will actually mark it wrong if you put the word pounds when pounds is already given. So cost is pounds, so all you need for this one is the number 20. I know that's a bit tricky, and some of you might think, hey, that's not even fair, just because I put the word pounds. It's wrong, but the IELTS says, well, pay attention. The symbol is there, so you don't need it. If there's no symbol, then absolutely put pounds and use the symbol. It's easier. Okay, so 20 is correct. 20 pounds is not. It will be marked wrong. Okay, so just 20. Okay, book 2 is available where? So where is book 2 available? Question number 26. Buster's. So Vivek says it's Buster's books. Yeah, Buster's. That's right. You can have the S all joined together, so Buster's, or with an apostrophe to show possession, Buster's books. Both are okay. So if you have the apostrophe possession, Buster's books, or no apostrophe, Buster's books, both of those are fine. And Vivek and Mohammed, good job on the capital B. It's the name of a bookstore. Notice how the B is also capital. So it's a big B. Okay? Perfect. All right. Buster's books. Good. All right. Coursework. So the first essay is worth 15%. Second essay is worth how much? 25. And very good. Again, Abhishek, good job paying attention. They give you the symbol percent. So you only need 25. Now, pay attention, students. This one, it's fairly simple. If you pay attention to 15, 20, 40, then you realize that 100 minus, this is 60, plus that it's 75. So minus 75 equals 25, which is the answer there. So even if you don't catch the speaker say 25%, you should be able to figure out this answer without catching the audio. So pay close attention, okay? Again, there's a very interesting phenomenon that about, well, I would say 40 to 50% of answers in the IELTS you can almost figure out in the listening and the reading just by using good logic. Okay? So 25%, 25. What is this last one for? So the 40%, what is that one for? Abhishek and Sarah both agree that that one is for the final exam. Absolutely. And again, you need both words. Notice that here you have midterm exam. So pay attention. It's final exam. If you don't have the word exam, if you just have final, there's a very good chance that they will not give that to you. Good job, Big MC. Final exam. Mohammed, good job. Here the F is small. It's okay. It's just a common noun. So final exam doesn't have to be big. Okay, it's a common noun. So final exam is correct. All right, a couple more questions for section 3. Okay. Write no more than 2 words and or a number for each. How long should the first assignment be? So the first assignment is an essay that's due in class. How long should that be? Abhishek says 1,500 words. Yes. Okay. 1,500, 1,500. It's 15 pieces of 100. So 1,500 words. And here you need this. It's 2 words, right? How long should it be? 1,500. If you don't have words, you're going to get that wrong because 1,500 is not a clear answer to this question. Okay? So that's correct. All right? 1,500 words. Okay. Last question. It was an inference. It's called an inference type question. Does everybody know what inference means? So what is the meaning of inference? Both in the listening and in the reading, you have these what's called inference type questions. Does everybody know what that means? What is an inference? So remember this, it's very important. Both the listening and reading will include what's called inference type questions, especially in the more difficult sections and passages. Okay? Inference, what does that mean? It's a noun. The verb is infer. It's a very important word for university as well. So what does that mean? Anybody? What does the word inference mean? Nahal, it's not illicit. It doesn't mean illicit. Inference means an educated guess. It is a guess based or an assumption based on evidence and analytic reasoning. Okay, so let me give you a very simple example. You're going, whoa, that's complicated. Don't worry about it. It's very simple. It is windy outside. The sky is gray. There are lots of thick clouds, and I have a headache. So I can infer that it will, what's the missing word? Deduce. Allah is a very nice synonym for the word infer. Deduce and infer. Allah darb al-taibin. They're pretty much perfect synonyms. Vivek says that it will rain. That's right. Yeah. So based on the color of the sky, based on my headache because of the low pressure, based on the wind, there's a good chance that it will rain, okay? So that is my inference. It's based on an educated guess. Good job, students, for guessing that. So infer is rain. Now, let's not get too far here. The listening and reading in IELTS will include these inference type questions. What does an inference type question mean? This means that you have to read or listen. Let's go with listen first because we're doing listening today. Or read information, and based on this, you need to choose the correct answer. Okay? So the answer is not given explicitly. Okay? So they don't basically say the answer, or it's not in the passage clearly. Why? Because this shows a high level of comprehension for a language, okay? In this case, the English language. So here they don't actually say, oh, by the way, if you hand in the paper at 5 p.m. on the same day at the office with no timestamp, it's going to be on time. They do not say that, okay? But they do talk about when the paper can be handed in. So if you understand the information about the paper and when it can be handed in, what time, you can figure out if the student will receive a late penalty or not. Okay? So everybody remembers what the professor says. That's right, Mickey. There's no direct answer. By the way, if you're trying to do skimming and scanning in the reading passage, inference type questions are basically impossible to answer. Okay, you cannot do inference. You cannot skim and scan for an inference type answer in the reading. It doesn't make sense. So it's another reason why skimming and scanning are not effective for reading. But back to this. The correct answer is A. Okay. Why? The professor says something important at the end. So the student receives a late penalty. Okay, the answer is A. You have to really pay attention here to the details. So there's no timestamp. Okay. Same day, it's dropped off at the department office. Okay. Kadir, the answer is A, the student receives a penalty because the professor says that if you hand it in at the office, make sure to get a timestamp so that you do not receive a late penalty. What does that infer? It infers that if you drop it off at the office with no timestamp, so the professor doesn't know if you dropped it off before midnight, because the professor's picking it up probably the next day morning, then you will get a late penalty. There's no timestamp. Okay? Does that make sense, Kadir? Okay, good. So again, inference type questions can be tricky, but just pay attention. Pay attention to the details of the question and really focus on what the student says, okay? Or what the speaker says in different contexts. All right, students, so good. So far, so good. Now we got section 4 to go, okay? We got listening section 4. Listening section 4 is here. So listening section 4, you have some time to review the questions. So you look at these. Which of these events happened 65 million years ago? Dinosaurs became extinct. Tyrannosaurus Rex came into existence. Okay. Number 32. Just read with me, nice and loud. Okay, imagine that this is your review time. Tyrannosaurus Rex lived during which time? How tall was Tyrannosaurus Rex? The theory which explains why fossils are found in different regions of the world is Tyrannosaurus Rex, predator, scavenger. Evidence, implication, conclusion. Okay. You don't have enough time to read everything in part 4, so don't try. Okay, students, so what do you think this will be about? So when we do this listening, what do you think this listening will be about? This is called analytic critical thinking, all right? And you need to do this. You need to visualize, picture the information, and then you need to think about, what is this about? Why are we talking about it? How is the information presented? So Abhishek says, this will be about the Tyrannosaurus. Okay, so section 4, listening strategy. Visualization and analytic thinking. Okay, so what is this about? This is your example here. Answer, T-Rex. The short, Tyrannosaurus Rex. That's right. What about the T-Rex? So can we be more specific? What information will this listening give us about the T-Rex? When it lived, how long ago? Okay, Vivek says extinct species. Sure. Why talk about it? So why talk about the T-Rex? Why do we want to know about dinosaurs? Vivek says maybe research, experiments, something like that. Well, why would we want to know about dinosaurs? Why do people worry about dinosaurs that lived millions and millions of years ago? What's the logic there? Big MC says, well, maybe to know more about life. Big MC, don't be shy. You have a good answer. Just stretch it out. Give me the full answer, okay? So to know about the natural history or the history of our planet, sure. How? How do we know about dinosaurs? So how do we learn about dinos? How do we learn about dinos? What do we research, Farheen? So Farheen says we research. Mohammed Kasiri says from their fossils. Good, Mohammed. It's 2 S's, I believe, on fossils. From their fossils. Yeah, absolutely. The remains of their bones. The bones that have left their molds or stone shape, okay? Depressions and molds. Yeah, absolutely. So we learn about them from fossils. Good. So that's what you want to think about when you're getting ready to listen to part 4 or section 4 of listening. Now, here's an interesting question before we begin for many students to understand about IELTS listening section 4. Why is IELTS listening section 4 more difficult than sections 1 to 3? Anybody know the answer to that? There's a few different reasons. If you were in yesterday's academic IELTS class listening, you should remember this, and it's very important to remember this. Why is section 4 more difficult? So the listening in IELTS is made in a way that section 1 is the easiest, section 2 is more difficult, section 3 is even more difficult, and section 4 is the most difficult. So why is that? Mohammed Kasiri, because it's for PhDs, that doesn't actually make it more difficult, and it doesn't have to be a PhD student. Vivek says the answers come too early or after 5-6 sentences. So answers can come quickly or take some time. Yeah. Sure, that's true. I agree. Okay. Sarah Mota says because it has a lot of academic synonyms, I think is what you're trying to say there. It uses more paraphrasing. Okay. So it uses more paraphrasing and more complex paraphrasing. Between the audio and the questions. Okay, so section 4 will use more combinations of synonyms, descriptive, expressions, idiomatic, grammatical, paraphrasing than the other sections. It can have more inferences, Big MC, absolutely. Also, there's no break. Okay, section 1, 2, 3, you have time to review the first 5 questions, then they give you a little bit of a break for 20 seconds to review the next 5. Section 4 has no break, okay? It's just all 10 questions given in one go, all right? So the audio, it's not faster, Vivek. It's still a natural speed, but there's no break, so you have to be focused for a longer period of time, okay? There could be different accents, Sarah, in section 4, but that could also be for section 1, 2, and 3, okay? You can have different British, New Zealand, Canadian, Australian accents in different parts of the listening. So that's not just for section 4, okay? And of course, the topic is usually more specific, okay? So as in this example, we are listening to information about Tyrannosaurus Rex. I can only imagine how difficult it would be for me to talk about Tyrannosaurus Rex in some of your languages, such as Spanish, Mandarin, Arabic, Punjabi, Hindi, and so on. So it's more specific topic, more difficult to understand and to give answers. All right, students, so keep that in mind. You have to practice. You have to pay attention to this. When you understand this, it will help you to be more focused and to do better. And also, it should encourage you to get a good score in section 1 and 2 especially, because section 4 will be more challenging. So most students lose marks in section 4 and in section 3. So try to pick up as many points as you can in section 1 and 2, okay? Now, I'm going to play the audio for section 4, T-Rex. Please have your pencil paper ready. Please do not write your answer into the chat. Give everybody a chance. We will go through the answers together at the end. Then you can add your scores and I can give you an estimated band score for your performance, especially if you have last week's marks. Okay, pencil, paper ready, students. Here we go. So again, back to our website for the audio. CD2, keep that in mind for myself. Track number 4. All right. 3, 2, 1, ready, set, go.
Now turn to section 4. Take some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Listening section 4. You will hear a lecture about the dinosaur Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Good evening, class. If you are registered for Anthropology 322, you are in the right place. Today we will be talking about the most famous of all dinosaurs, Tyrannosaurus rex, or T-Rex as it is commonly referred to. This dinosaur has a fearsome reputation, mainly due to popular culture films and books. In this class we will be discussing the facts regarding the Tyrannosaurus rex, as opposed to its Hollywood depiction. Tyrannosaurus rex lived from approximately 80 to 65 million years ago. Of course, the reason it died out 65 million years ago is the same reason all of the dinosaurs died out at that time: a massive asteroid which hit the Earth and destroyed almost all life. The period in which the Tyrannosaurus rex lived is known as the Late Cretaceous period. This reality is in contrast to fictional portrayals, which often cast the T-Rex as living in the Jurassic period. In fact, T-Rex did not come to be until 65 million years after the end of the Jurassic period. Tyrannosaurus rex was a meat-eater, but it is not entirely clear whether it killed its own prey or if it merely scavenged the prey of other dinosaurs. In our minds, we imagine T-Rex fighting to the death with other dinosaurs, but it is not known for sure whether this is the truth. Tyrannosaurus rex was a large dinosaur. Not nearly the largest, mind you, but still large by any standards of modern-day wildlife. The dinosaur's length was approximately 12 metres, its height could reach 6 metres, and it weighed anywhere between 5 and 7 tonnes. That weight is the equivalent of about 80 average-sized human beings. If humans had been around back then, we would have been the perfect size for an afternoon snack. The location of T-Rex fossils discovered is very interesting. They have been found in western North America, as far south as Texas and as far north as Alberta, and they have also been found in Eastern Asia, mainly in Mongolia. How is this possible? How can fossils be found in such different regions of the world? The answer is what geologists call continental drift. The continents have not always been in the same location. They have shifted, and around the time of T-Rex, Western North America and Eastern Asia were connected. This explains perfectly the discovery of the fossils in the different locations. One of the more well-known interesting facts about Tyrannosaurus rex is that it had extremely short arms. They measured only about 1 metre long, which is very short when you consider the size of the dinosaur. To put such small arms in perspective, it would be as if humans had arms that measured only 10 centimetres. What use would they be? Well, that is one of the questions that has led scientists to believe that T-Rex was a scavenger and not a predator. It is very difficult to believe that it could have been an effective predator, with arms being so important for hunting. Another fact that leads scientists to believe T-Rex was a scavenger was its extremely strong sense of smell. This enabled T-Rex to smell carcasses over long distances, giving it a big advantage as a scavenger. On the other side of the argument, T-Rex had very large serrated teeth, which would have been perfect for tearing through the tough skin of other dinosaurs. If T-Rex was a pure scavenger, it may not have required such teeth. Another interesting point about their teeth was that they were replaceable over time. Unlike humans, who grow only 2 sets in a lifetime, T-Rex's teeth could be replaced over and over throughout a lifetime. Again, this is evidence that they were, at least in part, likely predatory.
That is the end of section 4. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
All right, so don't space out. Use the half minute to check your answers. Then you have 10 minutes after section 4 to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Okay, students, good job on your listening. Let's go through the answers together and see how you did. Here we go. All right, number 31. Which of these events happened 65 million years ago? Now, a good strategy here, when you have to match the events to the multiple choice is just to check them off when you hear the speaker say the answers, okay? So A here is 1 and 3, B is all of them, and C is 1, 3, and 4. Okay, now logic will help you here as well. Mohammed, Abhishek, and Nair say it's C. So 65 million years ago, dinosaurs became extinct. Tyrannosaurus rex died out, which makes sense because Tyrannosaurus rex is a dinosaur. Okay, extinct, the phrasal verb is die out. Okay, so extinct, phrasal verb, die out. So that makes sense. Okay, that looks like good logic. And why did that happen? Well, scientists believe that a large asteroid hit the Earth. Tyrannosaurus rex came into existence? Probably can't be, because this number 2 and number 3 don't seem to match. Okay, you can't have, well, I mean, it's a million years, so maybe it's possible, but unlikely. Okay, so the answer is C, correct. So good job for the students who got the answer C. Okay, C. So dinosaurs became extinct. Tyrannosaurus rex died out with all the other dinosaurs at that time, and it's because an asteroid hit the Earth all 65 million years ago. Good job. All right, number 32, interesting fact. Tyrannosaurus rex lived during which time? So during which period did T-Rex live? A, Jurassic, B, late Cretaceous, C, late Triassic. Okay, good for you. The answer is B, okay, late Cretaceous period. Jurassic period was a very long time ago. In the movies, they say Jurassic, but that's wrong information. It just sounds cooler. That's why they do it in the movies, because it sounds cooler than saying, and now let's go to the late Cretaceous Park. People would be like, the late Cretaceous what? It sounds a lot cooler to say Jurassic Park, the movie. Late Cretaceous Park, the movie. What? Say what? So yeah, but it's wrong information. In science, it's not Jurassic period, it's the late Cretaceous. So the correct answer is B. Okay? All right. Next one. How tall was the Tyrannosaurus rex? Yes, Mohammed, those punk directors confusing the millions of children and people around the world with that wrong information. So which one is the correct one here? How tall was the Tyrannosaurus rex? Vivek, Abhishek, Shanzeh, very good, 6 meters. Okay, so B again. So it's B and B. 12 meters, what does 12 meters describe? 12 meters is not the height, okay? So in the audio, the speaker says had a height. That's the paraphrase of 6 meters. So the audio, the professor said, Tyrannosaurus was a tall dinosaur. It had a height of 6 meters. 12 meters describes the length. That's right. Okay. So here's your T-Rex. Okay. Let's... my little T-Rex there with his little short little stubby arms, okay? His legs, his tail. Okay, I'm not going to draw the whole T-Rex. So his length this way with that long tail, he was 12 meters. And his height this way was 6 meters. So twice as long as he was high. It's those long tails, right? Dinosaurs had really long tails. And of course it makes sense to have a long tail to balance the tall body. Okay, obviously my drawing is not proportional, but you get the idea. All right, so watch that paraphrasing. It had a length of 12 meters and a height of 6 meters. If you're a math student or a physics student, you definitely have to know the difference between height, width, and length. Okay, height, width, length. Those are different. All right, make sure you're clear on that for volume measures. Here we go. Number 34. The theory which explains why fossils are found in very different regions of the world is called, and if you know this theory, you're on the right track. Shanze Abhishek, very good. Quick out of the gates. Continental drift. That's right. It's the continental drift theory. Capital C, capital D to be on the safe side, or as Shanzai Khan did, just use all capital letters. It is the name of a theory, so it's good to use capital C, capital D. Farheen Mohammed, they might give it to you for small c, small d, but you should be on the safe side and put capital C and D because it is a theory name, okay? Like theory of relativity by Einstein or theory of gravity by Newton. All right, here we go. So this was a chart. Evidence is the proof. Implication, it's the usefulness. And the conclusion is what we can infer based on the evidence and the implication. So extremely, Abhishek, very quick. I think you were ahead of the group there, or me even asking the question. Yes, Afsana, my drawing reminded me of Barney, the purple dinosaur as well. Shanzai says this is short. Yes, short is correct. Short, and again, you can use all capitals like this. Short, okay? So extremely short arms. Arms are important for hunting. A hunter is a predator, okay? Hunter, predator. An animal that looks for other dead animals to eat, like a crow or a vulture, you know, that bird with the bald head. Not all vultures are like that, but the cartoony ones are. They find dead animals in the middle of the desert and then eat them. Those are called scavengers. So if arms are important for hunting and the Tyrannosaurus has short arms, then it's likely because the T-Rex was a what for 36? Scavenger. Make sure you don't spell words wrong that they give you, okay? So if you figure out that 36 is scavenger, please don't lose that mark with bad spelling. It's given to you right there, okay? 36 is scavenger. Arms are important for hunting. So you need long arms so you can catch and hold an arm bite, right? Think about it. If I have tiny little arms, okay, just visualize. Again, visualize. If you have tiny little arms, okay, that's not going to help me to kill the animal. And maybe slap them around a little bit, but it's not going to help me to kill that animal. Having big arms, being able to choke and hold, that will help me, okay? So 36 is scavenger, logically. Okay. All right. 37, strong sense of smell. So I can smell really well. Able to detect carcasses from long. Yeah, it's a tricky one here. It's distances. There's an S here. They might not give it to you without the S. From long distance, it's still correct. So Mohammed Farheen, distance is still makes sense. They do say distances, although distance is usually non-count. We do have exceptions, like in this situation, but they will give it to you because it makes sense to say distance, or they should give it to you anyway. All right, so distances. Large serrated teeth. Serrated means the teeth are like this, okay, like a shark. Okay, so it has these kinds of teeth. So if you have these kinds of teeth, okay, then you're able to tear through tough, what? Skin. That's right. Good answer there, students. So tough skin. What is that good for? If I can rip through some tough skin. Ideally, I have some long arms. I can bite into that animal like a tiger or like a shark. Okay? Then that means that I must be a what? Not a scavenger, but much more likely a predator. That's right. Now, if some of you have seen the movie Predator, there's a few of them out there now. First one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, one of the great Arnie movies, Predator. You understand what that actually means. Predator, it's a hunter. In the movie, it's an alien from another planet that's also got this funky mouth and crazy weapons, and he is a hunter, a predator. Okay, hence the title of the movie, Predator. All right. I think they just came out with a new one for that movie. Anyway, and the last question here. What kind of teeth? So, you just broke a tooth and it fell out. Another one grows back. So it has, that's right, Farheen, replaceable. That's right, Shanze, replaceable teeth. It can replace its teeth. Just like humans, except it can do it throughout its life. So the professor said, humans, we only replace our teeth once, although some humans these days, I've heard, replace them twice. So the T-Rex can replace them many times. Replaceable teeth. Replaceable teeth. Okay, replaceable teeth probably means it's a predator because it doesn't have to be careful with its teeth. It can just break them out and then they'll grow back if it breaks during a hunt. Okay, students, that's great. Add up your scores. So count up your scores for sections 3 and section 4. If you remember your score from last week, from the 11th, when we did section 1 and 2, please add that together. And then I'll show you something cool here. We can actually check your IELTS listening band score with our band score calculator, which is found at the bottom of our website. And that's free, so everybody can use that. So check this out here. I'll make it a little bit darker for this since the background is very bright. Okay, so you have this link here, score calculator. Okay, you can always go there and check out your reading and your listening score. First one here is the listening section. You just type in your raw score and it will give you your IELTS band score. Mohammed Kasiri says, I got 34. What band is that? I'll let you know here in a second. It's a 7.5, Mohammed Kasiri. Okay, so 34, boom, up pops your band score, 7.5. If you missed the class, Afsana, don't worry. Just look at it after. Try to forget the answers. Okay. Anybody else got a score for me to check? Okay. Nand Kumar says 35. Let's see what that gets you. Oh, 35 gets you an 8. That's the difference between one score. So, Mohammed, if you would have gotten one more correct, you would have done Nand Kumar 35, and that gets you an 8. Okay, so 34, 35 is the cutoff between a 7.5 switching over to a band 8. Okay, anybody else with a score for this class combined with the last one? Mani Kalra says 28. 28 is 6.5. Okay, so it's not bad. 6.5 is great. Okay, Big MC says 27. It's still a 6.5. It's still good. Big MC. So you're at a 6.5. 6.5 is what you need for most university entrance for bachelors. Okay, so good job. All right, students, you can always check out that score calculator. It is free. You don't have to join our full course. But hey, if you want to get over 100 hours of video lessons, 6 full practice exams, lots of audio for the reading and speaking as well as the listening. And then click that big red button and join that full course, students. All right. That's it for me for General IELTS for today. Tomorrow, I will be here at the same time. I'm going to do a task 2 essay, problems and solutions type. Let me make the screen a little bit brighter for us here so you can see me. There we go. Back into the world of brightness. So here we go. Tomorrow, task 2, problems and solutions. Again, if you have questions about IELTS or products, then send me an email, Adrian, A-D-R-I-A-N, at gieltshelp.com. That's G-I-E-L-T-S help.com. You're very welcome, Mohammed. You're very welcome, Abhishek. And in 30 minutes, I will be starting the academic IELTS class. It will be academic reading on our Academic English Help channel. So, Afsana, we'll see you there. Again, check us out, gieltshelp.com, ahelp.com, and learn, improve, get your band scores, pass IELTS, make us all proud. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. Have an awesome rest of your day. And if it's late in your country, you're getting ready for bed, then I wish you a good night's rest. Bye for now, everyone.